Good evening to you. This is News 360. Thank you for joining us. I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And my name is Kwesi Asari, and coming up in the next 60 minutes.
360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Electoral Commission orders recall and reprint of ballot papers for the eastern and western regions. Special voting in these two regions to take place on Thursday, December 5.
Meanwhile, New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress demand swift investigations to bring perpetrators to book.
Also coming up tonight, the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress presidential candidates intensify campaigns in the Ashanti region. 6 days to the crucial December 7 polls.
On the international front, U.S. President Joe Biden sets off for Angola with focus on a major U.S.-backed railway project that aims to divert critical minerals away from China.
We've got details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can be a part of this bulletin by sharing us your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X. Now,
We're your election command center. Let's bring you some election-related stories. Now, there will be no special voting in the eastern and western regions tomorrow. That's after the Electoral Commission recalled all presidential ballot papers for the two regions following a leak of a single ballot paper at the printing house. At a news conference, the EC urged the public and the police to help safeguard the electoral process.
According to the Electoral Commission, the decision to recall the ballot papers follows an alert from National Security regarding a missing defaced ballot paper at the Checkpoint Printing House, the company responsible for printing the presidential ballots for the eastern and western regions. With no clear explanation for the supposed theft, the Commission has decided to reprint all presidential ballots with added security features.
It has been agreed by all the Commission and all the parties that because the printing house, Checkpoint, also printed ballot papers for the Western region, those ballot papers should also be recalled and printed. And I'd like to note that this was arrived at by the Commission and the political parties, and so there has been agreement here. Therefore, the ballot papers for the two regions, Eastern region and Western region, will be destroyed by burning, and a new reprint ordered starting today. It is important to note that in order to ensure the integrity of the ballot paper, the Commission will introduce new security features onto ballots that will be printed for the Eastern region and the Western region. In addition to that, the serial numbers for those ballots for the two regions would be revised. This is to ensure that there would be a marked difference between what has already gone and what has already been printed and what will be printed starting this evening.
Due to this, special voting in both the eastern and western regions originally will now take place on Thursday, December 5.
In the light of the above, the special voting for the eastern region and the western regions would not take place tomorrow, Monday, the 2nd of December, as planned. The special voting for the two regions would now take place on Thursday, the 5th of December.
Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, has meanwhile called on political parties and the public to help safeguard the electoral process.
We'd like to call on the citizens of Ghana to support the EC in its bid to guarantee the integrity of the elections, not just in the eastern region, but in the western region and the country as a whole. It has not been an easy decision to recall a ballot simply because a defaced ballot paper has been taken out of the printing press. It has not been an easy decision to arrive at.
Meanwhile, reacting to the development, both the NPP and the NDC have demanded swift investigations to bring the perpetrators to book.
Sir, that we cannot be told whether the corporates, either a corporate or corporates, have been arrested or not. And the national security, the national investigation, the CID, all the investigative bodies must step forward and let us know who are the perpetrators. The EC has done its job. The security apparatus must disclose. We demand full disclosure. We demand sunlight on this. We demand that the security apparatus pours chlorine on this so that we will know who the perpetrators are. To date, we have an unresolved issue of biometric voter registration devices. That is unresolved. There are lessons to learn from it. We are a few days into an election.
We will urge the security to up their game, to ensure that those involved will be made to face the law. I think that this is a heavy decision, and because of that singular act of those people, you've had to put people who have made arrangement to cast their votes, to change their arrangement again. You've had to go through this exercise again, time and resources, because of a certain slip that allows somebody to pick a ballot. So there must be full investigation into this, and anybody with information should assist the police to get to the crunch of it.
We're staying a while longer on this. Dr. Samuel Efrie is a political analyst and has joined us via Zoom. Doc, good evening to you and thank you for your time.
Yeah, good evening and thank you to your viewers as well.
Doc, from where you sit, how would you assess the Electoral Commission's preparedness towards the December 7 polls?
Once again, thank you. It's unfortunate that the banning of printed ballot papers is getting too much. And I think EC need to set up and to avoid some of these avoidable errors, because it's getting too much. Today, you see that voter ahapo, we have to ban these ballot papers, and the next day there's a problem, there's a negligence here and there. It's getting too much. And I think if you are not careful, we might compromise the election, because these reprinting, if the printing house have some challenges or they can't meet the deadlines or they have some difficulty, I think EC need to see how they can avoid some of these things, because the banning of these things is getting out of hand, and EC need to set up and ensure that these things are done. Because if it's not the effort of these officers and even the party agent, some of these things could have gotten to the end, and it could have resulted in a lot of issues at the polling station. So these things need to be addressed as soon as practicable. And I mean that the EC need to look at the overall ballot papers that have been earmarked for, that is the December 7th, so that some of these things will not be identified. And to say that you have to ban this, you have to do that. Look at the cost involved of bringing some people that they are supposed to go tomorrow. Are they supposed to go back? What is their schedule? These are inconveniences, and these things need to be avoided. These are avoidable errors and need to be addressed as soon as possible and practicable as well.
Doc, how about how they have handled the difficulties so far? Would you say it has been transparent enough?
I would say since I've not gotten any information or any concern from the political parties, I think that the consultation has been been addressed. So I think that since they are all part and they all agree, I think that is good. But it should be avoided. We should not encourage that because it's getting out of hand. It should not be encouraged.
Right. Thank you for your time this evening. Dr. Samuel Efriye is a political analyst.
A reminder to watching News 360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. Now, President Akufo-Addo has emphasized that prioritizing education is one of the fundamental pillars of every successful nation. Alongside other key governance priorities, the president made these remarks during a stakeholder engagement in Ho, the Volta regional capital, as part of his nationwide thank you tour.
President Akufo-Addo acknowledged the support from various stakeholders during his 8-year tenure as President of Ghana. The President of the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, Togbegan Teprehudo, urged the President to share his leadership skills and the experience he has gained over the years to help shape the future of the country.
Our hope and prayer is that it's possible for you to continue to interact with us even when you are not in office. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. We are hopeful that with the experience that you have gathered over the years, you will help build this country and take it to greater heights.
President Akufo-Addo stressed that with the free SHS education policy, the country has seen significant improvements in the quality of education during his 8 years in office.
Not only have we witnessed the excellence, we have also witnessed a significant improvement in the quality of education that these, our young men and women are receiving as a result of the various reforms that my administration is carrying out. As a result of these improvements, and we're seeing improvements that have also affected technical vocational education training, TVET. We've also seen the greater enhancement of STEM education.
The President also urged Voltarians to vote massively for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the upcoming general elections.
I genuinely believe that of the two main contestants seeking office in Ghana, he is the superior choice, and his concern for Ghana is immense. I have too much respect and love for the people of Ghana to come and urge them to consider a person that I do not consider first rate. I will not do it.
President Akufo-Addo later took the opportunity to introduce various parliamentary candidates to the people and appealed for their votes in the upcoming general elections.
Meanwhile, presidential candidates of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, visited the Church of Philadelphia in Gomoa East to sell his ideas for votes for the upcoming elections. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia emphasized on strengthening the free senior high school policy and rolling out mechanized agric policies when he wins power. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate has commissioned a STEM school for junior high school students in the Joabin constituency.
The founder of the Church of Philadelphia, Prophet Adum Chedia, and his members welcomed the presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He assured the presidential candidate of his commitment and the church for supporting him in prayers to win the elections.
It is possible. It is possible. It is possible.
Go for it. Go for our dance.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
On his turn, the presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, lauded the church for its role in ensuring development in society. He emphasized on major policies to roll out when he wins power.
Pilgrimage authority. Ghana also needs prayers. So coming into power, we are going to bring new policy that will help Muslims to embark on their pilgrimage, and also Christians to also embark on pilgrimage to Israel.
I'm a Ghana man. Maybe Philadelphia, Anape,
Doma mabehu haha abro mintiasies.
To seek for prayers.
Ufa wakata di enoso enkata meso.
Earlier, the Presidential Candidates commissioned a STEM junior high school at Dwaben, the Ashanti region. The STEM school was named after the Mahama of the area, Dasibre Otuo Cerebral. The STEM school is to facilitate the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The Mahama of Dwaben, Dasibre Otuo Cerebral, who was elated about the school, assured Dr. Mahama Bawumia of a massive vote for him.
The man for Ninara, Minitri, Minyadwa, Maybe no pay, a free na Cassia baby school. Nana, rubber, Miaba, what I dare back up and catch us, sir. Yes, sir, catch mine. Sir, a dog, why ya try and so, yes, Memenda, yes, a veteran, Dopa, Monsia Dog. You are Vice President, Obaya, Minum Japping for dear, or 1 master, I'll be able to have more.
Dr. Mahama Bawumia said STEM schools were strengthened more under his presidency.
The PCS, junior high schools, the basic schools, now umoitimi start STEM education, no, right from the basic school level. This Otuo Cerebral STEM junior high school, no, one of the model STEM schools. Ushanoa unjindi say we a junior high school. We are going to participate fully in the 4th Industrial Revolution. Yama KH review.
I'll take you to the camp of the NDC now, where the presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, says his confidence about the chances of the National Democratic Congress has risen much higher than after 2 days of campaigning in the Ashanti region. With a renewed spirit, John Mahama has affirmed his resolve to campaign on the good work he has done for Asanteman, assuring them of more when he secures the mandate of the people. Here's a report by Aquaculture.
An ambitious target of over 30% from the MPP major stronghold of Asanteman. The NDC is leaving no stone unturned in a major campaign to have the entire country swept green. A mega victory walk through the principal street of Kumasi enthusiastically sent the crowd agog often as they expressed confidence of victory. From the Abu Abu post office to Kejetia market, Labour, and finally the Jubilee Park, the crowd was unwavering. A major coincidence for the Ashanti Regional NDC as John Mahama pitched camp in the region to galvanize for votes. An enthusiastic crowd beaming with hope, with a major focus, even as the special voting commences in hours and the main election over the next weekend. The NDC has made a major apology to the 7 Days Adventist Church. But a surprised John Mahama wondered the sincerity in government's sudden inauguration of the projects they are doing.
Kumasi Airport, up to now, April no Omodaso, so Wako Commission. Now 419, the Omuntimin Jada. Now no measure, yes, so Ethiopian Airlines, Besha say Kumasi to London. They go to Ethiopian Airlines. Almost a year plane, so be na chata, and your man Ankasa and Ombesha say, NSA, you know.
John Mahama then questioned the MPP strategy in the Ashanti region.
Na me pesa me kache nene se opera onko sua Madam Hajia Semira Emra nontu ne nkwada nyina Emra no fa ne mpa Emra no men da Asantemam okosoro eba foma abato ayebetui NDC bedin kunim.
On day 2 of his campaign, the former head of state's entourage then proceeded to Akomadan in Ofinsu North constituency. He was also in Ofinsu Denchi of the Ofinsu South constituency, where he resolved to reset Ghana. Aquaculture, TV3 News, Ofinsu Denchi.
Also, the NDC's vice presidential candidate, Professor Jenano Pokuajiman, has called on the Electoral Commission and the security services to be fair ahead of the special voting on Monday. She also urged media personnel to reflect on how they have been treated over the last 8 years and cast their ballots wisely. She was speaking to the media in Cape Coast.
So I urge everybody who has signed up to vote tomorrow to go and do it. We don't expect that to be to be in the news for the wrong reasons, for the reason that there are not that many. Okay, so we are calling on you who are supposed to ensure peace, and I think that's part of it, to provide fair coverage, truthful coverage of what exactly is going on the ground. And I think that is why a day has been set out for you. So you use it for a purpose. And the purpose is to cover as widely, as objectively, and for our security people also to be as fair as we all expect them to be. We're giving them all the message they have. You see, the whole thing is not about tomorrow and 7. It's a whole process, isn't it? It starts from somewhere. We've pointed out the fairness, we've pointed out the unfairness, we've taken what they want, they rejected what they don't want. We are here. That's where we are now, but it's a whole process.
The spouse of Alan Kwejo Tremantin, an independent presidential candidate, has reaffirmed her husband's commitment to address the constant hikes in fuel prices to bring relief to commercial drivers. Patricia Christabel Tremantin has been engaging drivers at some lorry terminals in Kumasi to wrap up the campaign for the movement for change.
Now, Alan has in store a lot for the drivers. In the first place, what do we see? Anytime you go to the pump, there's an increase in fuel prices. We are not even told, and it just comes as a surprise. What Alan will do when he comes into power, when he's voted as president, is that he will put measures in place to keep the fuel price stable. This is our problem, to keep the fuel price stable. If we have stable fuel prices, we also will have our spare parts having stable prices, and then the passengers will also have a stable rate to pay on the public transport. So apart from that, Alan has also told the drivers you can bring an old car for a new car and so on. He has discussed all that with them. But all this will not happen if Alan is not voted into power. I am asking the citizenry to have faith in Alan John Kwejo Tremantin, because he is the safest pair of hands who can make all these things happen. Because Alan is sincere, Alan is honest, and Alan has integrity of the highest order.
And now, the state of the economy and roads is influencing voter decisions in the Gomoa East constituency in the Central Region. With just days remaining before the December 7 elections, the governing New Patriotic Party and the main opposition National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidates have intensified their campaigns, facing each other for the third time. Correspondent Akwisiado visited the constituency and has filed this report.
The Gomoa East constituency is the largest by land size and the second largest by population in the Central Region, with 116,469 registered voters. It borders Awutu-Senya East to the east, Agona East to the north, Awutu-Senya West to the southwest, Afutu to the west, and Gomoa Central to the northeast. Historically, fishing and farming have been the main occupations, though urbanization has shifted these dynamics in recent years. Despite its large population, the constituency remains underdeveloped with high poverty rate. With just days before the general elections, some voters have been sharing their views on what will inform their decision.
I'm voting because the current economic situation is tough, and the surge in fuel prices is negatively impacting our business. I'm voting because the state of our roads is deplorable and requires immediate attention.
The bad road networks is not easy for us to transport ourselves to another place, so our works are very difficult for us.
The Metropolitan Chief Executive for Gomoa East, Solomon Dakukwam, has supplemented the newly introduced drip equipment with rented machines to improve key routes.
This is a approximately 10-kilometer stretch, Passing Junction, Awamro Road. Our intention is to try and build it up to a first coat level so that at least the dust and those things will minimize.
The NPP and NDC candidates have intensified their campaigns. The NPP candidate Kojo Asemenyi is confident he will defeat his main opponent and reclaim the seat.
Not only because it's a one-term seat or something, it's because people really feel that I'm well positioned to bring the development that we need to bring to West.
But for NDC Deputy Secretary Francis Edu, the party is confident it will retain the seat.
Inshallah, we are retaining the seat with a massive vote, not less than 60 to 70%. There have been series of intervention by the Honourable Member of Parliament. He doesn't have his government in power, and equally he is suffering. Notwithstanding that, because of this suffering, he wouldn't say he wouldn't care for his constituents. He is doing everything he could or can to provide the little support he's supposed to give it to them.
With over 116,000 registered voters, the decision will be made on December 7.
On Constituency Watch tonight, the general living standard of the people coupled with the non-existence of social developmental projects in the Afram Plains constituency in the Ashanti region will be among other deciding factors for the choice of their next political leaders. My colleague Stanley Nablo filed this report from the constituency.
Afram Plains is one of the 47 constituencies in the Ashanti region, with the majority of residents being farmers. The constituency is also one of the 4 seats occupied by the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) in the Ashanti region. Carved from Kumewu, the constituency has Drobonsu as its capital, but it faces very low levels of development. Compounding the challenges for constituents is poor access to telecommunication networks. In areas such as Seneso and Anyinofi, residents have to find a specific spot to place their cell phones in order to make or receive calls. In 2016, the National Democratic Congress (NDC) attempted to address the issue by providing the surrounding communities with a telecommunication mast. However, the facility was never operational after the party was voted out of power. In 2017, the current administration failed to operationalize the mast. Instead, it installed another telecommunication mast in the community, but 8 years later, it remains unused to the detriment of the people.
NDC installed this mast for the community in 2016. We have been expecting the current government to make it operational, but they abandoned it because it was not initiated by them. My present living condition will inform my vote.
Some residents have additional concerns.
We need development because this community has been lagging behind. The previous NDC government failed us, so we opted for a change. But the change is even worse. We have realized that the NDC government without free SHS was better.
Public toilet
The NPP government initiated the construction of a public toilet facility for the community 8 years ago, but the project has still not been completed. The party is now requesting for 4 more years to complete it. If we had requested for road construction, then it would take this government 60 years to construct.
Roads connecting adjoining communities are in poor condition and become virtually impassable whenever it rains.
and obey ya da ma be yes and ma ya cafe bia ya mo na kudu ni akọ yi enchine kwa ye upe bia de se obere.
For some government sympathizers, the successful implementation of the free SHS policy will influence their votes in the December 7 polls.
I am very prepared to vote this year. The implementation of the free SHS has benefited 3 of my children, and that is my motivation to vote.
The Afram Plains parliamentary seat has now become a target for the New Patriotic Party, NPP. The party's parliamentary candidate, George Akom, is seeking to unseat the incumbent NDC MP, Hajia Nazira Afra, who is running for a second term. But the power to decide who represents the constituency in the legislature rests with the electorate. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Afram Plains.
A reminder, you're still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. There's still a lot more to come shortly after this break.
Mahama once said, "Have you been offered a bribe before? As a human being? As a person?" Any human being in the world would have encountered, corruption in a way, one way or the other.
Dadanoa. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Essuroho. You know, 1 bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
This Christmas is giving.
It's giving.
Are you ready, kids?
Sis, is the jollof ready?
It must be for kudos.
Jollof is ready.
This Christmas, it's giving the best in entertainment on DSTV. Grab a DSTV decoder or reconnect to your existing subscription and be entertained.
Now this is giving. Thank you.
Mahama once said, "Have you been offered a bribe before? As a human being? As a person?" Any human being in the world would have encountered, corruption in a way, one way or the other.
Dadanoa. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Essuroho.
Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Let's bring you some more stories this evening. The pilot phase of the Resilient Aquatic Foods Initiative has successfully ended in 4 communities in the Northeast region. With the aim to help boost fish production and strengthen food security in Ghana, reservoirs were utilized to produce fish sustainably while creating jobs for the youth.
Globally, aquaculture, both marine and freshwater, now produces more seafood than wild fisheries. But some aquaculture practices are less sustainable than others, hence threatening biodiversity, wild fish stocks, and local communities. The Resilient Aquatic Foods Initiative pilot in Mlambwinsi, Narewego, Nansoni, and Tombu therefore explored the multifunctionality of water bodies with the use of small dams to promote sustainable fishing, food security, and reduce poverty.
They need now more private sector partnership in terms of the marketing and also in terms of financial products, especially with insurance, so that natural occurrences like flooding and other climate or water-related issues that lead to mortalities can be salvaged when they have such challenges.
According to the Director of Inland Fisheries and Aquaculture at the Fisheries Commission, Dr. Lawrence Ahia, the youth should embrace aquaculture for decent jobs and incomes.
What government is giving to you is your property, is for you. It's for the group to know that nobody is taking it back from them. We are trying to establish you. So get yourself committed to that thing, and then you can make money for yourself. For now, we have selected another 24 dams within the 5 northern regions, to make sure that the youth in there also benefit.
The initiative was implemented by the International Water Management Institute in partnership with the Fisheries Commission and the CSIR Water Research Institute. Ekufri Wadako, TV3 News, Accra.
And an intervention to combat hunger and improve the livelihood of smallholder farmers has led to enhanced food productivity. The emergency support to rural livelihoods and food systems, according to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, has improved the incomes and yields of over 50,000 farmers over the past 3 years.
The government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, developed the Emergency Support to Rural Livelihoods and Food Systems project as a proactive response to mitigate the effect of COVID-19 on smallholder farmers in 2021. The intervention was to contribute to protecting the livelihoods, income, and resilience of about 54,000 vulnerable smallholder farmers from the impact of the pandemic and climate change. It was also to mitigate the threat of food security and market access.
This project has been instrumental in supporting smallholder farmers in our regions, providing them with the necessary tools, training and resources to enhance their productivity and resilience.
At an exit conference of the project, stakeholders assessed the achievements and also discussed sustainability measures.
As we are here to just exit, it's also just proper that we let you know what are the exit strategies we are taking, what are the measures we are taking in terms of handing over all the project assets and everything that we had under the project to the ministry to ensure that we continue the good works for which this ESRF project has achieved.
For MOFA, where we sit, we will be interested in how we transit from this phase. What has been achieved? How do we sustain them? How do we manage them? This is what we want to see all of us be thinking about.
As Ghana confronts the intertwined challenge of COVID-19 and climate change, stakeholders have reaffirmed their commitment to supporting rural livelihood and food systems, ensuring that the progress made is preserved and enhanced.
And in health, easy access to quality health care has been a challenge for residents within the Gomoa East constituency over the last few years. But the Member of Parliament for the area has initiated steps to bring relief to residents.
As one of the most populous districts in the Ashanti region, most Gomoa East residents go to Tafo Government Hospital or even Konfanoti Teaching Hospital to seek medical care. This has often led to loss of lives. Responding to the needs of residents, the Member of Parliament for the area has handed over 2 health facilities at Kenyase and Abuasu communities to bridge the access gap.
The main focus of this project is to promote good health care within the constituency. Looking at Gomoa East, we have about 46 communities, and it is our prayer and hope that we'll be able to have at least one health center in every community so that health care could be closer to the people. Our population keeps growing, and looking at our main facility, which is the Asnomaso Government Hospital, it's not enough to house all of us. And so it is important that we also find a way to resolve the issue before it even happens.
The health facilities, according to residents, has come as a major boost to healthcare services. They, however, want a swift completion of their share of the Agenda 111 hospital project to enhance quality healthcare delivery.
Madame for Ghana, in collaboration with Vivi's Dance and Theatre Academy and Booksy, has launched a play titled Gizo Gizo, a tale from the Zongo Lagoon. The play highlights the potential consequences of illegal mining on natural resources.
Of financial products, especially with insurance, so that natural occurrences like flooding and other climate or water-related issues that lead to mortalities can be salvaged when they have such challenges.
I apologize for the wrong insert there. But bringing you more stories, the overlord of the Navrongo traditional area, Navropio Pe Asakpari, Balinia Ada II, is urging Ghanaians to vote for political parties whose governments prioritize the continuation of projects left behind by their predecessors. He was speaking to the chiefs and people at the launch of the Kasnan and Kana Community Foundation, where he bemoaned the tendency of successive governments abandoning initiatives of their predecessors.
Look at where you are coming from. I'm looking for somebody who can perform. If you're a motion man and you can perform, they should let you perform. The problem I have is when governments change, everything is abandoned. But the truth is, we don't have NDC currency, we don't have MPP currency. Why don't they continue the projects to complete before going for other projects? Because it's Ghana government money. Maybe they were picking up an assembly hall here. His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's government is putting up. I'm not a prophet of doom. Maybe if things change, then they'll come and say, oh, this one was started by His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. So NDC has come, they will not continue. MPP has come. This is somebody's different project. I'm also going to continue my project. I am seeing that to be a waste to the government.
Now let's go on to Zoom now and speak with our Upper East Regional correspondent, Castro Senyala. For more on this, Castro, good evening to you. What more can you report on this one?
So basically, the message of the Navropio are centered on the need for governments to complete projects that have been started by predecessors. He says that if that is not done, state resources would continue to be wasted, when in fact a lot more needs to be done to push the country ahead as far as development is concerned. He was particular about the fact that Ghanaians need to begin to bring in governments who commit themselves to ensuring that these projects are continued and not abandoned as we are seeing in the country, which he describes as very worrying.
Which is a great advice by the Navropio. But we have 6 days to the elections. How is the atmosphere in the areas?
Right, Aisha, the atmosphere as far as the voting is concerned in the Upper East region is generally cool, except for parts of Boku where we understand that the area is still tensed. But for the other areas, various political parties are continuing with their campaign activities. We have the MPP and the NDC vigorously campaigning in markets. In every place they can get the opportunity to tell this, the electorates their messages as far as choosing them is concerned. We have on top of issues where some of these political parties are promising jobs, promising to ameliorate the suffering of the people if voted to power. We continue to keep our eyes on the ground, and tomorrow, for instance, special voting, where we understand that security agencies and other people who will be very busy on that day will vote tomorrow, and tomorrow will bring all updates to our listeners and viewers.
How about the residents themselves? How ready are they for December 7 as well as tomorrow?
Residents are really eager as far as the elections is concerned. I've been speaking to a number of them who told me they have begun looking for their voting cards to go and exercise their franchise. Some say that, look, they've been in hardship for the past 8 years, and they are looking forward to changing a new government. Others say the current government is doing so well, and so they are looking forward to renewing the mandate for the current government to continue to do what they describe as life-changing interventions. But whatever the views are, the people in the area, especially Upper East region, are very well prepared and hoping that on December 7th, nothing will cross their way. The only issue is that in the Boku area, concerns continue to be on top of issues as far as security is concerned. But we understand that a lot of security personnel are being deployed to Boku to ensure that all is calm for residents and or even visitors who would go there to observe the electionary process are safe and sound to be able to carry out with the process.
Definitely, Castro. Castro Sengala is our abled correspondent in the Upper East region, bringing us up to date on happenings in the region. This is News 360. We'll go for a short break and return with more. Please stay with us.
Mahama once said,
I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. I have the dead goat syndrome.
Dadanwa. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Esuro. I'm a Ghanaian, and I love luxury accreditation. And I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace I give to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana.
This message brought to you from the luxury accreditation.
Explore the nature and create from it. The spirit of inventors leads to the inspiration for new technology. By drawing nature's energy, we create the extraction tech. Small in size, huge in power. Millions of microcapsules condense the essence of nature. Join us, Cleasoft Invent for Life.
Mahama once said,
Have you been offered a bribe before?
As a human being,
As a person?
any human being in the world would have encountered, corruption in a way, one way or the other.
Dadanwa. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Esuro.
You're welcome back to News 360. Let me take you back to our earlier story on Madame for Ghana, who have, in collaboration with Vivis Dance and Theatre Academy and Booksy, launched a play titled Gizo Gizo, a tale from the Zongo Lagoon, where the play highlights the potential consequences of illegal mining on natural resources.
As creativity serves as both the foundation and milestone of the art, the Vivis Dance and Theatre Academy performed a piece highlighting the negative effect of illegal mining in the pursuit of wealth. Amid the ongoing Galamsey crisis, the performance showcased the importance of preserving natural resources for the well-being of future generations. Addressing the media, the International Chief Executive Officer of Madame for Ghana shared her vision of helping Ghanaians protect the country's natural resources.
The purpose of this gathering is promoting Ghanaian culture and their arts. The play speaks about our environment, about environmental health and protection. It's something that we really need to broadcast so that through art and craft and play we can learn, because it's not boring and it will be interesting for everybody to see.
Drama head at Vivis Dance and Theatre Academy, Abena Dansoa, also shared her perspective on the matter.
Vivis Dance and Theatre Academy, together with Booksy and Madame for Ghana, that really sponsored this production and made this particular one possible. We are just telling the next generation, the children, that it is important to keep their environment clean, and they should make sure that they do not litter the environment, and they should support the cause that's going to allow us to keep Ghana clean.
Let's now bring you some entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
The Ghana Culture Forum has launched a new website designed to tell authentic stories, share insights, and provide educational content on Ghana's arts, culture, and heritage. Chairman of the Culture Forum, Nanoto Owahene Echampong, stated that the thoughtfully crafted platform reflects the forum's commitment to embracing innovation while preserving Ghana's rich cultural heritage.
The new interactive web platform is designed to educate, provide relevant information, and engage users on Ghana's rich cultural heritage. Chairman of the forum, Nana Uto Uwahini Champon, stated that the website will help share authentic experiences about Ghana and amplify content related to culture, arts and tourism for a global audience.
In our modern age, everybody across the globe will not be able to come to you physically. Therefore, you need a key tool like a space like a website. So over the years, we realized that we've tried something in order, but we felt that going forward, we'll need to recreate our website so that it can be more interactive, more visible. That will also sell us more across the world.
The platform will also showcase the work plans of member associations, including Musica, the Actors Guild, and the Ghana Association of Visual Artists. UNESCO's Program Officer for Culture in Ghana, Kalampa, urged stakeholders in the cultural and creative industries to fully utilize the website. Technology expert Kobe Spike Nkrumah praised the initiative, emphasizing that it will create more opportunities for people to learn about Ghana.
I was really very impressed because creating a site like this where you are feeding a lot more information into the site makes it an actual hub for learning. It makes it a hub for empowerment, and as I mentioned, a data hub. So imagine if somebody was doing some research on a certain culture in Ghana and they were looking for information, where would they go? Gone are the days where we used to have encyclopedias. Now websites and stuff have these things, and so it's very important to have a hub like this where even events that are happening in Ghana will be on this website.
This is News 360. We're going for a short break. We'll be back with more.
No matter who ultimately wins, you're all winners for coming this far. The winner is Kaiser!
Topping. It's not about grades, it's about determination, creativity and ambition. Topping Turn coming soon on TV3.
This week on Mentor, it's Inspirational and Gospel Week.
To the left in the name of Jesus. Are you ready? Let's go. Now move to the right in the name of the Lord.
Our talents will lift your spirits with inspiring songs as they advocate for peace, unity, and non-violence during the elections. Don't miss the incredible performances and the heart-wrenching elimination. You have 40% of the power. Remember, voting closes on Sunday, December 1st at 7 p.m. Mentor 13.
Mentor 13 is powered by Shaltox Lozenges.
Sponsored by Darling Lemon Drink, Darling XYZ Wine, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Enapa Foods, Frutelli Calipo, Obuasi Nubunawo Mwankasa.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill. Our first story, Cole Palmer shown in a comfortable Chelsea win over Aston. Ruben Amorim collected his first Premier League victory in emphatic fashion as Manchester United beat lowly Everton at Old Trafford, and Liverpool extended their lead at the top of the Premier League table to 9 points and helped pile more misery on the fading champions Manchester City with a fully deserved win at Anfield.
The steal against Philogene. Here is Kukurea. And now Jackson. And there's the opening goal. Palmer. Fernandez. Palmer takes it on and scores. Another Cole Palmer spectacular. That's one for Salah to chase. Right across the face and turned in. Salah, destiny of this game in his hands. And Salah scores for the 6th.
There's a delivery out to Rashford. Plays the cross, look at the taxi! Man trying to make the most of it at the start of this second half. Over to Rashford! Here by Ahmad. He has Xerxes to his left. It's Xerxes!
Not a good one for Pep Guardiola, as for the first time he's lost 4 consecutive league games. But we went with athletics, where Kenya's Sebastian Sao ran the 5th fastest marathon of all time on his debut at a distance to win Valencia Marathon. The 28-year-old triumphed in 2 hours, 2 minutes, 5 seconds, a time bettered only by Kelvin Kiptum, Eliud Kipchoge, Kinyesa Bikele, and Cisse Lema. Ethiopia's Deresa Galeta finished second with 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 38 seconds, and Kenya's Daniel Matieku third in 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 24 seconds. Ethiopia's Magetu Alemu won the women's race with a personal best of 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 49 seconds. That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Billy Shen. There's more on the bulletin.
Let's now take a look at what is happening on the international front.
Joe Biden has set off for Angola on Sunday on a trip that will deliver on a promise to visit Africa during his presidency and focus on a major U.S.-backed railway project that aims to divert critical minerals away from China. The project, partly funded with a U.S. loan, links the resource-rich Democratic Republic of Congo and Zambia to the Angolan port of Lobito on the Atlantic Ocean, offering a fast and efficient route for export to the West. According to 2 officials who served under the previous Trump administration, while Biden's trip is taking place in the waning days of his presidency, Donald Trump will likely back the railway and remain a close partner to Angola when he returns to the White House in January. Russia has carried out a series of airstrikes in Syria as rebel forces are continuing to push south. This latest offensive marks the most significant fighting in Syria in recent years. Rural parts of Idlib and Hama were hit, regions where the group leading the rebel offensive has recently taken control. For his part, President Bashar al-Assad has vowed to defend the country. More than 370 people have been killed, including at least 20 civilians, since the offensive began on Wednesday. Senegal has commemorated the 80th anniversary of a massacre of African soldiers who fought for France during the World War II and were gunned down by French troops in 1944 for demanding fair treatment and payment on their return. Senegal has long demanded its former colonizer take responsibility, officially apologize, and properly investigate the massacre that took place in Fiarori, a fishing village on the outskirts of Senegal's capital, Dakar. The event, which renewed this demand, comes as France is losing influence over its former African colonies, many of which have turned to Russia for security instead.
That's all for News 360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Kwesi Asare.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Good evening.